John, is Morgan Frost growing on you the way he's played last 3-4 weeks?
He's getting more and more consistent.
Are you trusting him more? You're giving him PK, and beyond just the goals and the assists, but are you trusting him more? You're playing him on the PK. He's being rewarded for. It looks like.
Yeah, he's the goals are the goals. That's great. We're looking for that, but I think he's improved right on through away from the puck, which is a very important part of his game.
What are some of the details, John, that you think he's really kind of honed in on?
Just that positioning, body position, battles. Just a 200-foot player. We know he has skill. We need to keep on seeing the skill, but for a coach to put a player on the ice that he's still not sure of, that other stuff has to be sound, and I think he's really improved there.
Owen Tibbet was talking about how throughout this homestand, staying connected as five-man units is really the key to why he won so many games. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think we have supported the puck really well. I don't think we were that good at it tonight. I thought it was a game by both teams. It was kind of low event, and man, but for the most part in this homestand, I think the puck support and our decision-making through the neutral zone has been really good, and it's given us an opportunity to win.
John, when did you find out Carter had an issue and wouldn't be available for you tonight?
Practice today, pregame practice today.
Something he tweaked in practice.
Lower body injury.
Do you foresee it being a long-term?
No idea.
That said, how pleased were you with Felix's performance tonight?
He's played good the past. You know, my biggest complaint was him was there'd always be a bad goal. Past through 2 or 3 starts, he's played very well. Made some key saves in a game that I think both goalies just saying, well, are we going to play? And made some key saves at key times.
John, when we've talked to you, I believe it was last week, about Morgan, you mentioned the idea of you having to be fair to him in terms of your perception versus what he is, what you want him to be. When you're looking back, and obviously there's still a few more games left in the season, but when you're looking back at his season, are you taking this most recent section more into account, or are you looking at more as a entirety?
I'm looking as a whole because, when we talk about him, and I guess it's a conversation you guys have to have with me. He keeps on improving. That's encouraging to me. And again, like I said a few days ago, I didn't know him 2 years ago, and the people that did see him play then to where he is now are shocked to where he's at. I've seen him improve this year, so I want to just keep on seeing him improve, and I have seen that. And I think Kevin makes a great pass to him, and he scores, and makes a really nice play tonight, just cutting across against flow, and scores a big goal. But I've put him in a lot of spots here the past number of games on the other side of the puck, and I think he's improving there too.
It was another game where a lot of the younger guys are showing up on the score sheet, as they've kind of done over the last little bit. How encouraging is that for you when you are kind of still learning about some of those guys, what they can be, what they need to improve on? How much has that been encouraging?
Yeah, it is. You know, we sent a couple of guys down that played really well in the few games that they played, and it's kind of a little bit of my focus, I guess, is to try to put them in as many spots as I can, but still watching how they're playing that particular night and them earning that time. And it just keeps giving us a look as far as how things are going. I think tonight's game is, I don't know, and we're very fortunate at this point. This is really the first one that I thought it was. I think the teams tried, but it's 2 teams out of the playoffs. I think that's what it looked like tonight, and it's the first one that we have experienced. And it's not effort; it was an ugly game. Really, neither team generated a whole bunch, but you have to you find a way to win those games, and we did.
I guess kind of as a follow-up to that, not every game over the stretch is going to feel like that, but there are some of these games that maybe don't have just naturally the intensity of games in the early season, games where you have teams battling for a playoff spot. How do you weight that when you're trying to evaluate these young guys in terms of, yes, they're doing it at the end of the season, but these are different fielding games?
Yeah, there's no question when you're playing in these types of games, I do think it's easier to play in them for some guys. when you, and we talked about this when we were playing games of meaning. It was really, and I haven't lost my thoughts about those in evaluating those games and players involved in those games. But I still, I'm still watching. I think it's a little bit different look for me. I've kind of formed some opinions already. And I think as we go, especially we're at the short strokes here, with just a couple more weeks left, I don't want to tip it one way or the other, good or bad, in what I'm thinking right now, because I think you really have to judge things on those real meaningful games and the higher intensity games. Now we're going to have some where, like this Ottawa team's trying to get in. We got Dallas, we got the Islanders. I want to see how we react in some of those. We play some non-playoff teams too. So, we'll play the games and then we'll have our discussions.